trashy magazines and pretty trashy people. I just hoped I could keep them out of the crime section.
Where is he?
The great thing about being famous as well as rich is the bad guys know who to kidnap. I hadn't seen it coming, but that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. I just hoped I could get to Fabiana and Giovanna in time. I knew if I didn't get to the girls soon, time was a luxury I couldn't afford. Figured this time I'd use the stairs. It was your typical trendy hellhole. Beautiful, or in this instance, it seemed, a heavily armed psychopath. Poor bastard's name was Claudio. I found out later, girls. The only box he'd be getting into now was the one he'd be leaving in. It looked loud and expensive enough to be, and maybe that was the problem. But at least I was heading in the right direction.
Don't shoot, por favor.
You an American?
Sure. Yeah, I'm from Steele, North Dakota, just outside of Bismarck. Anders Stetling.
Happy, healthy ex-cop? Give me a break. Arguing about. It was time for me to add my 2 cents.
Estamos aqui por causa das meninas do branco. Ele não tem nada a ver com isso. Oi, daí, mano? Eu tô pouco me fudendo pra...
Victor's political campaign was starting to turn. If only that was the worst news they'd received that day. Either way, I needed to find Giovanna before they did.
Isso está ficando vergonhoso! Ela não vale a pena. Temos a mulher do branco. Foi por isso que viemos aqui. O Serrano vai cortar nosso saco se ela escapar! Vou gostar de matar essa puta! Tem muita coisa que eu gostaria de fazer com ela!
I was guessing pretty soon she'd start wishing she was. I was up for one god-awful performance review. This was a mess. Where the hell was Passos? We were two failed cops failing miserably at being bodyguards. He approached everything with about as little preparation as I did. Maybe that's why we got along. It was Giovanna's necklace. I had to hope the rest of her was still intact.
What are you waiting for? Let's go!
Mr. Victor Bronco.
How much blood did you use? Snap out of it, bro! Come on, bro, let's get up there!
Our $3 million man had locked the doors behind him.
Let's see if this thing works. Come on, let's move!
It suddenly hit me that this bloodbath was probably being recorded in HD. The Galatians would be making more than the sports pages tomorrow morning.
Max, come here! Right behind you.
Luckily for us, the blood money was still bleeding.
It's a holdup, bro. Let's get up there.
Look, I'll deal with the guys on the other side of the fence. You take the others.
Whatever you say. I don't know. Looking for something that ain't here, I guess. Claudio, their Gordy with the Broncos in attendance was the wrong one to be at.
You get another sniper on you. Make a run for it. I'll keep it busy.
All right.
Come on, Mac. Move! Let's pick up the pace, Mac. Get your ass in gear, bro.
The bar held a lot of memories for me. Most of them fuzzy, but memories nonetheless. This looked like goodbye. They'd barred the wanted us. I'd gotten into my share of bar fights, but that night made me wish for any one of those. It ain't often you get nostalgic for getting your ass kicked by 6 sailors on shore leave.
Stopped. I told you to stop. We're fine.
What do you mean we're fine? Come on, huh? We're not fine. Oh, we're not fine. Fuck you! They gotta take your chances.
So it seems.
How many pumps? What the fuck? Droga!
Fuck me!
Fucking die!
Yo, it's 99 for you!
Cover me!
This old guy, my days of shield.
My boy. Don't be afraid.
It was hard seeing Brewer go out like that. But I got to thinking, it was what he was waiting for. A chance to make a difference. At least that's what helps me sleep at night. The apartment made me wish I'd got to know him better. It made for interesting reading on the same page. Looked like he was keeping an eye. He was right. The place should have been knocked down years before, but my lease turned out to be the order of demolition. Up and out. Scramble away from what's left of your life over dead bodies and a few loose roof tiles. If I'd thought things through, I may have sat down and let myself burn right there.
Down through the wreck up here.
There were wrecks all around, and not the kind you fix up for a weekend project. These were the wrecks you cross the road to avoid.
Come on.
Fancy seeing you here.
gotta wade down to the street. I'm gonna cover you, and you move up.
Come on, let's fuck them up! Just cut my ass! What?
Okay, I have your back. You go.
Kill him!
Looked like Passos and where she was had to be.
Dá cobertura, rapaziada! Tá protegido!
I didn't want to think about what would be happening on that video feed now. Just my own imminent cameo. They probably made their ransom weren't enough to cover it.
Você me parece jogo aberto!
Vamos nessa.
Sobe, filha da puta! Cadê? Cadê? Sanguenta na mão!
She had been held in. I had just missed them. They'd been making a reality Schroets. She was on the move. If they'd finally decided to kill her, I wasn't doing. Serrano had taken Fabiana through the garage door. I had to find a way to open it. I was in a cocaine factory, but I'd stick to the depressants. It seemed Serrano's boys had targeted the entire Bronco family and didn't give a shit which one they pinched. I opened the door to the next circle of this low-rent hell.
Atire nele! Todo mundo vai! Mata, 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 mata!
Serrano was reading his reviews. Vain chump. The newspaper was plastered with the news of the first kidnapping attempt. That gangway would get me through. These were the floor plans to the nightclub. Seemed Mr. Serrano like to be prepared. Proper little Boy Scout. I had to keep on going across the docks. Run off, paid off, or bumped off. That left us. It wasn't a fantastically comforting thought.
This doesn't look good. We gotta keep moving. X, come on!
That was the office Victor used at Fabricas Bronco. Victor's office had Second Son written all over it, half the size of Rodrigo's and a tenth. I didn't have time to thumb strings, and by the looks of it, he held them pretty tight.
This is the way.
They'd been keeping an eye on Fabiana for a snatch.
I'd last half a second in a gunfight! Stick by me!
It's through here.
Come on, Max!
It was a lot China. I just had to keep him alive to find out.
Once they realize they can't get to you, they should back off.
Max, try...
There it went. He was tucked up safe. Now I needed to make it to the lobby to complete my sweep of the building, for what that was worth. Graduation shots. No wonder they had the common touch. It looked like we'd seen the worst of it. The elevator would take me back up to Rodrigo's office where we could wait the rest of it out. No one would be rebooting his system. Poor bastard. Come on, come on! He was no use to me dead.
Meu, passa o baseado. Ih, não é tua vez não, passa aí, meu. Aí, tem visto a irmã do Wilson, mano? Ah, ela não é pra mais garotinha não, hein?
De jeito nenhum. Ela é meio Raimunda. Tem cara de bruxa, mano.
Ah, não tô nem aí, cara. Só fechar.
O que esse cara quer?
Aí, bela camisa, hein? Tu perdeu o fusão, amigo.
Hey, are you lost? I'll say a prayer for you.
Another life lesson I didn't want. Serrano, the man of the hour. Had De Silva left this there on purpose as some passive-aggressive message to the CS from a cop who was apparently too scared to go near any... out of there.
No shooting! Por favor, amigo! No.
Relax, soldier.
Jesus, what a fucking creep. The cold turkey was messing with me, like I was looking through another man's eyes. I needed to focus. Yet more thugs whose Christmas card.
Não tem como escapar da justiça.
Mostra a sua cara, seu covarde! Você já era, seu homem morto!
Aí, segura minha mão!
Vai na frente, me ajudou cobertura!
Say what you want about these Jose. Looked like Nova Esperanza had a civil war to end.
São Paulo inteira está unida contra você.
Giovanna, charity, your life ripped apart. I'd seen enough. if these drugs didn't have a doctor's name on them. Passos is Tolmgren deadlier than crack. Easily marketed to the poor and desperate. All in all, a fine... I was definitely in Commando Som. She couldn't be far away. Detective Valerie Winterson. I made a very bad call. This was one decision of mine I buried deeper than all the others. I was pretty sure they didn't have Max Payne. That meant Passos was in another bind.
I want to tell you to suck already!
Nicole Horn instead of flowers. Vinny Gognitti, struggling to stand up. He's had a good sense of humor.
We gotta find a phone. I got...
Hey, you!
cops didn't seem too concerned with meeting their arrest quotas. Between me and Sao Paulo's finest, it'd be a miracle if the CS were still in business by the... "55. I'd seen that number before. Were these the same bloodthirsty motherfuckers that showed up after the shootout at the party?
Quem é você? O que você quer?
There was a danger of this starting to get too real.
Você tá me tirando,
Fala
porra?
alguma coisa, seu filho
Onde
da
tá o seu
puta!
chefe, seu filho da puta? Cadê o Serrano?
mano, eu não sei nada, porra. Eu tô indo pra casa, mano. Eu tenho família, eu
Põe um
trabalho.
saco na cabeça desse merda.
Não!
Man, I was guessing these guys didn't spend their spare time studying the Geneva Convention. An army of paramilitary I didn't need.
to try something.
Or rather, I was running true to form.
This place is giving me the creeps! I'm going to wait here. It's not safe.
Atira na cabeça!
She was Victor's political nemesis and, in all probability, Sao Paulo's next mayor. Even the Broncos couldn't afford that many votes.
Don't leave me here!
This was where Marcelo was supposed to be sleeping. He'd barely come down to this deck. Passos had the name of the bar, waiting for De Silva to walk me through it real slow. The room belonged to Passos, my partner in crime. Or maybe someone else's. The bed was made, think of it, whatever it was. So this was the famous Panama Canal. We could have gone to the moon while I was passed out and I wouldn't have noticed. Well, I'd been dead to the... Where had they taken them?
Get the fuck off me!
Hoy te vas a morir! ¡Todos al suelo! ¡Muérete ya mismo!
After I got out of Newtown anytime soon, I was gonna have to stay away from the only place I'd ever known. Whatever they were looking for appeared to be gone. Daphne Bernstein making the most of her. I don't want to think about it.
¡Puta, aquí no hay nada! ¡Miguel, vení para acá!
There was something firing these guys other than good old-fashioned It didn't make sense. Why was what the other cargo on board could be. Maybe there was something on the bridge. I checked every other inch of the boat. I don't know what I expected to find. On a boat full of drunks and bullshit artists, I'd been the cabaret act. Shooting whatever came in front of me was easier than coming to terms with that reality. Blocked out all my... Americans had a long and checkered history. Sorry, chapter. For what it's worth. Either those guys wheeled their trash out on stretchers, or something was seriously wrong here. Ufei, was there anything already?
Mesma coisa. O quê? Você não tá fazendo nada, eu tô fazendo tudo. De Silva and I had the same. He knew too much. We'd both become targets. Passos' lied to me about.
Está tudo certo. O que você acha que eu estou fazendo? Você sabe o que aconteceu a última vez. Não é porque é mais um erro. Tá tudo aqui, meu. Então vamos lá, criança. Já perdeu muito tempo. It looked like Victor reversal connection to the people, triumph out of tragedy. Part of me couldn't help thinking that had been his me. He'd paid enough. For now, I had bigger debts to call in. Even I could guess what Demolisão meant. That building was condemned in more ways than one. When you find yourself in hell, dance with the devil. Either Victor Branco and Stadium Exchange,
I had to hurry up before more of those assholes showed up. Whatever nonsense De Silva had pulled, it seemed to be working.
Está me achando que eu vou te matar? Por favor, por favor. Eu te fiz uma pergunta, pô. A gente não tinha nada com aquilo. Prometo. Então, não. Eu só sei que teve um apagão. Isso é tudo que eu sei. Meu tiro. Aqui.
Hey, Mister, have a nice
Look
day,
who
guy.
it is, Mr. Strip Club Scumbag. The security switch had to be in that booth. Seemed the anti-drug squad had a few habits of its own. It was Monday's arrest Palace Hotel. Becker's blood money from the good doctor. Serrano had canceled one side of that transaction. The other was on me. about the only friend I had left in that town. I'd killed more cops than cholesterol, and still no sign of Becker. It wasn't the first time it dawned on me I should probably have gone over the plan in more detail, but it was too late for that now. AUP. About the money? If I didn't hurry, Becker would be long gone. They had thereby Sao Paulo taken a bribe. Home I couldn't go back to on another suicide mission to clean up a mess that wasn't even mine. I'd spent my career dozing off in the briefing room. Now wasn't the time. The CS were all but out of business in Sao Paulo. My old pal Serrano, still alive. I didn't recognize the guy. Maybe this was the news. Fame at last. It was no. And I was in good company. Powell Passos. Deep in the past. It was a little late to be thinking about precautions, but something told me this shit show was barely through the warm-up act. It felt like I was going around in circles, getting further away from the truth. I had to find my way out of there. These were Becker's guys. Him and Victor had a private airport to go with their private army and their private jet.
Oh, well, chaos and gun.
Judgment with a smile. You can't beat it. Nothing was happening back here. I had to get to where the action was.
Qualquer atividade suspeita deve ser relatada imediatamente. Devido a uma emergência, todas as bagagens estão sendo retiradas. Por favor, dirijam-se até a próxima saída e aguardem maiores instruções de como recuperar sua bagagem. Em caso de emergência, por favor, mantenha a calma e sigam as instruções dos funcionários do aeroporto.
The gate had opened at the other end of the departure lounge. The tram was slowing down, and I'd only just gotten on board. I had to salvage what I could and see what was waiting for me. This was my stop.